Welcome back to the channel, guys. Today we're going to be playing Uma Musume. I'm going to be jumping into career mode because I am playing this game. I've been doing a lot of rerolling, and I actually have a guide for that as well if you guys want to check it out. It's a perfect time to reroll, but I finally got a good account, and I'll kind of showcase some of that stuff as we're progressing here. But I'm going to be working on celebration missions. I think that's very important where I'm at in my account. I have not done anything career-wise, and I wanted to kind of jump into this video working on these special missions because you get guaranteed 3-star here. For one of the characters, and then part 2 actually gives you an SSR ticket, which is super nice because you actually get this little voucher here for a 3-star as well that you can select. I think that other one's a randomizer, but if I use that one first, then I can maybe select another one and hopefully be able to get 2 3-stars, which would be super dope. So we're gonna jump into career. This is gonna be my first time playing career. I have fiddled with it a little bit, but this is gonna be the first time on this account because I finally got to a point where I'm pretty happy with the rerolls that I was able to do. Now I'm going to be selecting Scarlet here because she is part of the part 1 stuff. That is kind of important to make sure that you're reading the missions and stuff and who we're supposed to do. Legacies, honestly, I'm going to do auto select. I mean, this is kind of not going too much into this, but basically what you're trying to do is prestige characters. So the career is going to be played multiple times. So what you're going to end up doing is going through here and we're going to do a lot of training, a lot of different things, a lot of choices that are going to help us with our speed, stamina, power, guts, and wit. And then we're able to use that character once they get a certain point, they'll get to a team rank, and then we'll be able to kind of like use that character as a prestige to help another character in their story. So it's kind of a nice little twist on like Gacha and the kind of progression and stuff like that. You can also see like what kind of track distance style that they tend to have. And let's go ahead and keep going. This is our attack formation. Now I'm not 100% on how to make decks, but I'm pretty happy with the cards that we have. I don't know. We'll just stick with that. We won't have any guts, I guess. Let's start career. Let me know in the comments if we're wrong. Oh, there's event stuff. Maybe we do some event stuff too. It looks like I have 2 characters on there to the event. Maybe I should have had it prioritize that as well. So we're going to be learning. That's kind of part of the video. That's part of the experience, right? We're trying to learn. I'm not going to be a pro at this game by any means. I do, like I'm kind of open to some backseat game. I don't really want like a full like here's exactly what you do, like a breakdown type of thing. I do want like suggestions maybe. Or like dialogue. I'm super cool with that. I have no problem with anybody trying to help. Obviously, I just don't want somebody to steer the ship. You know what I mean? If you're pointing at some of the different islands we can go to, that's cool. But yeah, I'm all for collaborating and kind of like talking about stuff. I'm learning, obviously. That's kind of the point, is to give like a genuine experience to the game. But this is going to piss a lot of people off. I'm going to skip. The reason I want to skip stuff is because I want to focus a lot on the gameplay. For those who maybe don't like the story, we can do story in a different way or something like that. I'm not really 100% sure. Or maybe just to throw this one out and see if you guys want to see story stuff. So to kind of explain what's happening right now, though, is I got inspiration. And that is part of like, sometimes it happens from, you know, dialogue stuff. There's events and stuff that you can choose from, and they'll give you some different things like speed, stamina, and guts and all that different stuff. But I just got a shit ton of stuff. Now here's the bread and butter though. I got 11 days to reach the goal. So I want to run in a junior, make a debut. So what we're going to do, we have 11 days to take a little bit of a debut for us. So we're going to focus on training because we got our energy up. She's feeling normal. And what we'll do for that is recreation. That'll kind of help her up. We want to get her in a good mood, basically right before our race, because we want her to be in a good mood. We want her to be energized. But we're going to work on some different stuff. So in terms of all of this, I really don't know what matters too much. I know like the speed, stamina, power. I think guts is pretty much just like your ability to like push forward when you're like kind of gassed out. I'm pretty sure that's what that is. And then your wit is kind of like how smart you are. So we're just going to go with the basic though. I mean, if you look at it, we're pretty flat across the board. We want to work on probably speed, stamina, and power because our guts and wits are already kind of high. And you can see if we go to speed, we can actually increase it by 11 and power by 11. Or by 5. So there's like a little bit of a twofer here. And then we also have to think about our skill points. Skill points will allow us to buy skills. We'll kind of explain that here in a minute. But here you go. You know, this is kind of super fast because I'm skipping a lot of it. But there's a whole fleshed out story. There's tons of content, tons of stuff to actually look at and look through. So it's really kind of engaging. And then we have a failure rate, and that's just based on our energy and kind of how we're feeling. So I think we're just... See, the thing is on these games, I always tend to, I always kind of like make everything even. And I don't think that's kind of how you want to play. I think you want to work on what your potential character has and like the ways that they run and how they're kind of structured. You know what I mean? So if they're like good at long distances, well, maybe you'd want to work on stamina a little bit more than speed, because like if you're doing a lot of long distance running, you know, speed's important, but being able to run that long for that, you know, is part of it. So then we have stuff where we have like trainees. We have friend cards and stuff like that to help us. And this is where support cards really do matter quite a bit. because this is going to give us a little bit of an oomph in our guts. So now we're actually able to do guts, power, and speed plus 2 skill points. So this is kind of a no-brainer for us to be able to check out and then do. And then we're going to get a little bit of a, so these little things that are popping up, these like smoke screen, this and that, those are actual skills we can buy with the skill points that we're using. And a lot of them give us some different things. Like, okay, so here's an example of what's going on with one of our support card events. So this is a character that we got from a support card, and we're having an event with it, and we can make a choice. This choice is going to allow us to increase a lot of stuff. This is why it's kind of important to maybe know what's going on. So like one day in the park, I'm taking a breather. They're running fast. I'm sorry for blocking you. Wait, where am I? I don't want to disappoint the girl who asked me to help. Goodness, what should I do? We're going to go with the top one. So like, there you go. I went up in some different stuff. So we're starting to get down in energy. So we want to be careful because we might start failing stuff. As you can see, failure is like 20%, 18, you know, so forth. And that's because we're tired. Now, if we go to skills, this is what I was talking about, where we're getting some of those skills by doing some stuff. And those skill points are going to help us because a lot of these are going to be unlocked by doing it. So we're able to buy something like this. This will increase our performance when at least 5 other runners are using the same strategy, which is pretty cool. And then smoke screen moderately narrow the field of view for runners ahead late race. This is kind of a long race. So typically I don't buy these up until the point that you start racing, because you want to kind of see what kind of race it is before you do it. So let's go ahead right here. We're just going to kind of go maybe for power because we need power and stamina. I think that'd be pretty good. We do have a 20% chance of failure though. So if we hit the failures, it's not going to be great. Oh, we failed. Okay. So the problem with failing, and the reason that you don't typically want to do that, even though I did, is we're probably going to get penalized for this, and I'm probably going to lose some stuff. So I'm just going to say, let's call it a day before it gets worse. I'm going to lose a day here, and hopefully I'm not going to lose a ton of points, because what ends up happening is your character can get hurt or like an injury, and now she's in a bad mood, and we lost some power there. So that's actually not that bad for what happened or what could have potentially happened. I don't think that was actually that bad. Now our mood's kind of bad, so we're gonna have to take a little bit of extra recreation to kind of help her mood. Oh, okay, so we actually got pretty lucky there, because whatever interaction we had with the director here actually gave us a neutral benefit to our mood, which is dope. I still want to beat her in great, and I'm probably not going to train. This is another reason why it's kind of important to pay attention, because now we actually have the support card, which is going to allow us to do this wit one with very little energy, like exposure, right? So I'm not gonna have to worry too much about that. I'm gonna go ahead and click it, and I'm gonna have a pretty good success rate. So the goal here is to minimize all your energy, but also just pay attention to, oh damn, I'm on a date. We're gonna do this. I'm gonna please make her, I was hoping that was gonna boost her. Sometimes you can boost the energy with doing stuff like that. Sometimes you can boost your mood. Here we kind of want power. We have 11%, man. But our wits, see, this is one of those things. So you have a 0% chance of failure with this wit, and you do get 4 points, which would be super dope. I might just do it actually. But you want to make sure that you're kind of paying attention to what you're doing, because like, even though I'm technically doing good with like my wit, and I could technically sit here and keep doing it, I want to pay attention to like power and stamina too. I don't want to just have a shitload of wit and then not have the power or stamina to back it up. But I think I'm going to go ahead and let her rest. I try to make her rest before, like kind of closer to the actual race, because I think, I would imagine, right, the energy has a huge pull in this on how well they do on their race. So I try not to do like an insane amount of stuff. I might just go for a wit run here, just because it's not going to do as much, because what I want to do is a recreation right before our actual run. So I think I'm going to do a wit here, because I'm pretty confident in this junior debate, or like a junior debut. I think we can do pretty well in this. And I actually just got, damn, now I kind of want to run. I kind of want to train, because I just got something that got my mood up. So this is kind of the interesting part of this game, dude. This is where I get kind of addicted, because this is fun, these mechanics, and I'm more strategical on these stuff. So do I go for great, or do I just leave it at good? I think I leave it at good. See, this is kind of where I fall into like, I screw myself a little bit. I don't think you want to make all these even, but I always do. Bounce back, even better than 4. Hell yeah, we got 10 speed there. Okay, it's race day. So what we can do here is we can look at the race. So I'm going to go ahead and click all this, because I've read a little bit of this. So we know what kind of race it is. It's on turf and it's medium. So that means it's a medium race. And if I click on it, I don't know if I can go back. I'm kind of afraid I can't. But if I click, I'm not going to enter the race because I think if I enter it, I can't go back to the skill points. But we know it's a medium race. So we're looking at this stuff. So it's like, okay, so some people probably are going to use our same strategy, or we can choose the same strategy. So if we want to do that, so slightly increase velocity on a straight, that could be kind of nice. This is a medium distance, so we will have a little bit of straights, but my slightly increases passing ability. Okay. And then we have this one. So this one's not going to help us as much here. Doesn't mean we don't necessarily want it eventually, but since we're not doing a long race, I kind of feel like passing ability is pretty good here. And we don't necessarily have to buy something. We could save, and we could technically save for something else. And I probably actually will do that. I think I'm going to save. I think I'm pretty confident in this race because the first race is pretty easy, and you can even do predictions here. So it looks like I'm going to be a top contender. I think my wit is either really good or really bad. I can't remember what the double circle means, and I'm pretty sure it just told me, but I wasn't paying attention. But we're going to run. I think we'll get first. Technically, we don't have to get first on this one. She just kind of wants to get into the butte, right? So it's not 100% guarantee like that it really matters what place we're in. So yeah, that one wouldn't have done too great for us. So this is also telling us that we're more of a front or a pace. Late and E or end is not going to be that great for us. We're not really that kind of runner. So we're going to do a pace. So that one that was saying like if 5 people had the same stuff as us wouldn't really benefit us in this race because a lot of people are running late and we're not a late runner. I'm just going to go ahead and run it in portrait. I kind of like having this menu. I kind of like, I don't know, man. I kind of like having it to the side here just because I can kind of see what's going on and kind of remember what my support cards do. So it looks like we're on pace to be number 1. We're number 1 favorite. Nobody else is going to be. That doesn't necessarily mean we're going to win. We have a pretty damn good chance. I don't really know how long to make these videos. I don't know if you guys will watch like full on videos or like episodes of this. Like we can kind of run through career and actually show a bunch of different stuff. Or if you guys would rather just see like clipped up stuff. So maybe I'll cut this one up a little bit and we'll kind of go from there. So this is the interesting part, dude. I get like real hyped up on this shit. Not gonna lie. And the interesting thing is you can like kind of fast forward it. So this is kind of a little longer. So I can go in 2 times, 4 times, or I can go off. So technically I'm getting beat right now. I'm in second. So I want to kind of see where we're going. They have all kinds of different stuff. They have commentary. They have all these kind of cool different visuals where they're like zooming in, looking at different stuff. And damn, I'm actually in second. I was hoping I'd be a lot further along, but it's okay. Maybe we can kick in with something. This might have been because I didn't really buy a skill, so I'm kind of in a spot where I'm not able to use a lot of skills. My support cards will help a little bit, but typically right here is where your skills would start coming into play, especially like on this straight. I think we're on a straight here, but I think we kick in. I think we kick in it towards the end. We're catching up. We're doing so good. Come on, Scarlet, you can do it. She's like right there. We actually closed the distance quite well. So Scarlet might, oh damn, that chick was kind of speeding up too. There we go. Got red ace. So we do have a couple of skills, I guess. There we go. We took over 1. There's some stuff that gets pretty intense. So I've done this a little bit just to kind of test it when I was first kind of starting the game a week ago before I started re-rolling. But there's some intense shit, dude. There's Ty, like they're right next to each other. I mean, now I'm closing, like I'm like way in front. I closed that gap quite well. But this is also like a beginner match. Essentially, this is like one of the beginner races. So yeah, we won. Damn right we did. There's a lot of them though that you get like almost like an underdog feeling because it'll tell you like you're not gonna be a top contestant, and then you like end up in first and shit. Those are like the best feeling ones. Then they have these concerts. So this part of the game I don't really understand. I don't really get the concert stuff. Like, why are we having a concert after the race? But hey, man, whatever. I've never seen the anime, so maybe that's part of it. Maybe that's part of the lore. But you can skip these, which is what I normally do. So some people might hate me, but we went ahead and was going to skip it. So we got first. Congratulations. So this is another part of the game. This is another layer. We want fans, right? We want fans because we want to be able to get all the way up here. Now I have 16 days to reach this goal. So this one's going to be a little bit longer of a scenario where I can actually jump in here. And then we can do some training. So this is kind of like a different part of it is you can actually do races here. So you don't have to necessarily do, and these are like forge your own path to fame. We're kind of like seeing what we want to do. There's no races to compete in, but sometimes they'll pop up where you can kind of get races to do fans, like you get more fans from doing it. I like to do, like, anytime there is an explanation point, I typically try to do that just because it's nice to be able to have something like that. And then I try to use as much energy as I can before resting, because obviously it's like a mid-max type of thing, like a whip. I'll go ahead and use this just because, you know, I'm able to get away with it, and I was able to get a little bit of energy back, which is super nice. But I don't always do it. It kind of depends on what I'm working on. Oh, see, this is one of those things where it's like sometimes you want to kind of do it for the skill points too, but I have so much whip. But I think it'll be okay. I'm gonna go ahead and do it again. This is where I kind of need to learn. I kind of need to like figure out like what's important, what's not. So let's see if there's any races. So here's where we can actually jump in here and do a race. So I do think this takes a day, but I think the interesting thing is it gives me fans. And I'm not 100% sure why I want fans, but I think I want fans. So we're in a good mood. We don't have the most energy, but I think we will probably be okay. We could do a landscape for this one just to kind of see. I don't remember. I didn't see the prediction I was in, but I think it'll show me at the beginning here where my prediction is. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty high. We'll see. Yeah, I'm paced out for number 1. Somebody's name was Salsa. So let this run a little bit. We'll skip a little bit. They always do the commentation, which is super cool. But this is what it looks like if you're looking at it from landscape. I like to run it on 2 times. This is kind of cool. I will on bigger races, like the ones that I'm trying to get like top 3 and stuff, or maybe even the first in. I do let it run because I think it's fun to watch the whole thing. But on these like little ones, I don't really, you know, I'm pretty confident we're gonna win. It does seem like we're gonna lose because we're 6 out of 5, but she clutches. She'll get in there. I hope. Until we hit a certain mile marker, I'm kind of scared, dude. Don't do it to me. Dude, you gotta run, girl. You gotta run, girl. We're past that 6 marker, dude. We gotta go, dude. Okay, there she goes. There she goes. She's a little bit of a, you know, this is what the pacing is, you know. This is where the guts comes in. There we go. Red ace. We're gone. See you later. Velocity up. Oh, that wasn't me. That was the other chick. So that's the interesting part is those guys, they'll have skills and stuff too eventually. So we got it. Sometimes it gets scary, dude. Sometimes like that's some of the ways to actually play this is to do that. That's called like a late thing, I think it's called, where you want to run in the back and then all of a sudden at the very end you just jet past somebody. So there's a lot of cool different things that you can do. It just kind of depends on the character you're playing, on what kind of like mode or like what kind of things you're going to be doing during these races. So we got 500 fans. We got skill points up what, by 30? Hell yeah. Okay, so I think I'm going to have to take a nappy though. So we're going to have to go ahead and do this because I don't want to risk too much. And then we're going to go ahead and pop through. So I wish there's like a little bit of a... Huh. I got down twice. Oh, maybe that's because we went a little too close. Because it said that she was worn out. Make sure to not push her too hard. Maybe that's because I was too close. So, ooh, we got a speed, but a failure of 32. Oh, the shitty part is if I don't do it, I don't get it tomorrow. Like if I go to bed, I don't think I'll get it. Yeah, we're gonna do it. I think I have faith. Yes, we have faith. Okay. Dude, okay. The thing is, I just did what I told her I wasn't going to do. Which was, you know, get her all the way down. Extra tank? Okay. Damn, I keep seeing these. Ah! Okay, we got to rest. Don't show me again. We already know it's going to take a turn, bro. Now, I am in a good mood. So we need to come up with a strategy. You can't skimp on rest either. We have to collect a lot of data. I want to take a class on classics this year, so we can't afford to slack off. God, I don't think I want to skimp on the rest, but I think that's going to give her more energy. I don't want to do that. They come up with a strategy. Her weight went up. Damn. Her weight went up. I was hoping her mood was going to go up. So I think I'm okay with good. All right. So we got an extra guts too. So we're kind of working on getting everything up. So wit is already at an E. I think E is at 200. So we actually could get power and speed. Very close. And I could get it right now like this. And I think these will turn it into an E. Now I don't know if you go, oh, it's right there. I don't know if turning it to a letter grade matters like a ton. Like if that helps like a you know, shit ton or not. But I would like to think that turning it to a letter grade helps a lot more than just getting up by 5 points. Oh, I have like 0 energy and I got 1 turn left. Ooh, and I wasn't paying attention. Okay. That's okay. We can rest for this and we can go to the race. I was kind of hoping to do like a recreation to get her mood up. Oh, she got, okay, cool. So skills, we have a ton of skills, dude. So moderately increase. Okay, we actually want to see what the race is though. So this is a mile race. It's a turf. Okay, so we're looking for stuff that maybe improves our mile. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean we have to buy for this specific race. There are races, like even this one will moderately increase performance at Tokyo race course. This might be Tokyo race course. It's not. So I don't typically, or at least I haven't been buying stuff that's specific to a certain race because I'm afraid that like, okay, that helps me with that race, but it's not gonna help me anywhere else. I think what I want to go with is a straight. I think I'm going to do this. We're going to buy the increase. It's only for that though, for a mile. We'll see. I don't typically like to buy specific stuff for like a mile, but I think we'll try to work it out. I'm still trying to learn what is good for skills and stuff. I'm not going to pretend to know everything. This one actually would have benefited us if we got that skill where 5 people were on it. Oh, we're number 2 fave here. What are we looking at? What do they not like? I'll have to see here in a minute. I need to make sure I'm paying attention to that. So that's another way to learn what you need to work on because it will actually tell you what they're like not favored. Like, is it your wit's too far down? I don't think I can see. I have a triangle. A triangle means that something needs to be worked on, but I don't know what it is. I need to pay attention to that. That's one of the things that I forget to do. Because it'll actually tell you, like, specifically what it is. I kind of imagine it's maybe my gut. So my wit's like my strongest feature. So it's either my stamina or my gut. Damn, dude, I'm way far back, but I got a skill at least. Oh, she kind of makes me nervous though. The way she runs is like, she's such a late gamer, dude. Right after this little mile marker, she's going to clutch. Watch this shit. Get in there with the skill. Get in there with the skill. Come on. I got top 5 already. We're already in the stuff for that. Oh, damn. I might not even be top 5. I might not be top 5. Get in there. Oh my God. I don't know if I did. I don't know if I did. I don't think I did based on her face. Oh, we got 4th. Oh, we got 4th. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Wow. That was bad. I got 1 turn to reach the goal. Those days, dude. All right, turns until race 1 to complete an upcoming goal race. Your training needs to win over more fans. I have to race because I have insignificant fans. I only got 1 day, bro. Oh no. This might be GG's. Okay, now predictions. Let me see. I'm a top contender for this one. Damn, dude. I got 1 turn to do it, and I have to race to get the fans to do it. All right. For this one, I'll probably just go ahead and maybe skip, or not really skip, but I'll have it fast forward because we're pretty much a top contender on this one. Damn, dude, what a turn of events. So we're pretty much a contender for first. We'll let her run. This one might be kind of short. I think what I screwed up on was buying for the mile, dude. I kind of feel bad about doing that. Those skills I need to learn. I'm 7th. Hey, you gotta run, chick. I'm gonna slow down. I want to see what's going on. We gotta run. We're supposed to be a top contender and we're 9th. Dude, girl, you gotta run. You're in a good mood and have excellent energy. We should not be running in 9th and 8th. Oh, we're gonna lose. What happened? What happened, girl? Run, run, run. Where's your skills? Oh, we're like in 4th. That was like a 4th or a 5th. What happened? What the heck was that? I was supposed to be a top contender. Why am I in 6th? Oh, Lanta. This is what I'm talking about, though. Sometimes you just... Trouble breaking out of chat. More power can help with that? Oh, I guess, man. Oh. All right, you'll get it next time. Let's get her boosted. She ain't got no energy. Maybe that's what it was. Oh, goal incomplete. Oh, I didn't have enough fans. So I just got to E rank. Bada bing, bada boom. This helps me out with just some stuff for the account, obviously. But I can use her. So if I go to the next career, I'll be able to use her. So the interesting part though is you have to use her on a different like character. It's kind of hard to explain. Okay, so to kind of talk about what I was saying. So if you go on to here, the characters, they always start at this stuff where they're at like G's and stuff. So to be able to use the E rank of her that I just got, I would have to choose a different character and then select her as a legacy. So see how she's an E rank now? This is the character that I just built on that career that I did. And then you can see how it's helping. So every time that you do that, you can get her to like, you know, C rank, D rank, or whatever. It can help with the stamina, the power, the guts, the whip. And it basically gives your character that you're going to work with a boost to be a little bit better, so you don't have to work on stuff as much, so you can be a little bit more further progressed. That's why kind of the prestige system. But if I go back to her, I can't use her on herself in that sense. Like I can't use her as a trainee, as a legacy. So, but then you can, I guess, select her off the side, but I don't really know how that part works. I think that's just part of like a friend group or something like that. But you can tell that I can't use her as part of the legacy, the main legacy. So even though I have an E rank, I can't use it. I can only use her here at this point. But you can see that I've, you know, done this. Now I have a little bit of a boost and some different stuff. So that's kind of the idea around career and why it's important to keep playing it. There are a lot of events and stuff in the game, but that's kind of what I've been working on. But I'm going to go ahead and call this video here because this is actually a pretty long one. So hopefully you guys liked it. Let me know in the comments if you did. Subscribe to the channel if you're new, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good rest of your night, guys. Peace.